but this is a very important interview. We talk about people away responsible for shaping the future of we country. They've been there, they've seen it, and if we are waiting to talk, it's necessary for that we listen. Something where we can say Kapu sense and all Kapu word. It's fine for that we listen to Dr. Konteh this evening. You may not agree, but I don't mean say you know for listening. You probably might learn something new. Super. Over to you, please.
Yes, thank you very much, Brother Prince Kroma. Ladies and gentlemen, again, I want to apologize to Una profusely for the technical difficulties where we get this evening. Una know say Una this platform at the then and now media empire discussion of high caliber people to Una. So again, with the urge, I want to continue for share the program and learn our patience and bear with me because the message is worth it. Like what in the brother say no more, we get somebody today of eminent personality where he gets plenty knowledge in terms of governance now in country. And we don't begin, although we get technical difficulty, but what we don't get from him already, we don't show we say yes, this particular person, what they talk like something of substance, now something very relevant to we as a nation, we as a people, we as a country. So very grateful for get some Naya today, and with the urge I want to continue for share. Dr. Richard Konteh, again, we welcome you back. We won't go direct to the interview again because of the time we don't lost now. We want to ask the second question is that the fight against corruption is supposed to be the flagship policy of President Bio's administration. But with the recent revelation by Chernobyl of the Africanist press and the 2018-2019 audit report, as the fight against corruption just don't become another tool being used by the administration for a fight against the opposition, or is the fight against corruption on track as far as you see?
I'm not convinced, say the fight against corruption is on track, because it is very apparent for say that they cherry pick issues the way they for address and issues they not for address. And that day, now the problem they start. You know, when you talk about the fight against corruption, you got to begin to look at the nature of the corruption, the complexity of the corruption, and the scale of the corruption. You know, waiting don't happen recently through the audit report and the revelations by the Africanist press, and for make them expose to everybody the scale of corruption where they take place right now inside this country. Waiting now don't left. Now for make we see how the institutions where government does set up for address issues of corruption will respond to these issues. How they will provide a clear and transparent way for deal with people where they don't find culpable. They will treat people in the same way, regardless of who that the person be. They will allow themselves to be led by the evidence and ensure say whoever they find culpable is brought to book, so that people will get confidence in the system and confidence in the ability of the system for dealing with these issues. We all know, for example, a few months back or 1 year ago, now Cotton Tree, just because of allegations, we see how they parade teachers around the Cotton Tree. They humiliate them, only to make the issue die down just like that. Why they begin to subject them to that level of humiliation? We did not even wait, but then do a thorough investigation into the matter. So if the Anti-Corruption Commission really so determined for pursue these things, then why did not do the same, even for the revelations made in the Auditor General's report or in the Africanist press, their revelations? I think we don't get sufficient basis for me to call people there in for questioning, or for me to even detain some people like how they do with others. So basically, they say the fight against corruption is a fight where all men supposed for welcome, it's good for the country, but when they do it, you got to be seen for be even-handed, you got to be seen for be fair, and everybody will be treated equally. Not a partisan issue at all, and enough to be an issue just for people belonging to one party as against those belonging to another party. No, it's a national issue. You get a national character, get ramifications for the whole country and how the country in governance structure and things could work out. And so therefore, we expect or make them treat them with that level of fairness.
Thank you very much once more again for that honest response, Dr. Konteh. And Daniel, something we don't talk on this platform, say the fight against corruption, we all man welcome him and all man they support him. The only thing is that he has to be honest, he get to be transparent, he get to be free and fair to all man, not to be used for intimidate or harass other people we not support certain people enough for be so at all. And what Dr. Konteh don't can talk now, they don't vindicate what most of who always they talk. Dr. Konteh, another thing again with this current administration, the president's and Bio's administration, is that they set up the COI. But the way they be set them up, we see plenty controversy where the main opposition, members of parliament and the parliament, be oppose them, say the way they set them up, the rules of court committee is not there, but eventually it go on, say the COI says they don't conclude, they don't subsequently don't pull a white paper. What now you take part? This whole COI process is set up, the way I run and the subsequent white paper. What now you take and what now you respond to all waiting pass?
Yeah, thank you very much. I think the All People's Congress Party and me personally, they of the view say they miss the point from the get-go. Nobody is against the setting up of a commission of inquiry. But one basic principle in law, now that somebody will be presumed innocent until they find them guilty in the competent court of law. What happened with this COI in Sierra Leone, now that they already pronounced all the persons of interest guilty, even before they called them for appear before the judges. This in itself don't undermine the credibility, the fairness, and neutrality in the whole process. As if that's not bad enough. When they come for can set up the commission of inquiry, they fail for allow the rules of court committee for set up the rules of evidence. You know, and when you not get rules where they guide how una want carry out the process, it just tell like una get football match, una get player there, una give the referee the whistle, no rules. Where the game they go on, the referee now they decide, waiting a penalty, waiting a corner, waiting a foul. You know, they work like that. You get forget rules, so element clear for no waiting a penalty, waiting a corner, waiting a offside, all for be clear. So where when they play under set rules, clear rules. And precedents day for this, they're not one. And because they're not one, even after they don't produce their report and their white paper, we find out say they still they continue along those lines for deprive the persons of interest of their right to a fair trial. We understand from the office of the Attorney General for say they don't even clandestinely go to court for go obtain a court order for make a run on people their properties, even though them people here don't appeal to court. That is not done. And they not even get the courtesy for serve we lawyers them, or for even allow we, for let we go explain ourselves. Why the rush? Why the secrecy about it? If you get confidence in your case, if you get confidence in the evidence where you get, if you believe, say, the evidence where you get will stand the test of time, then allow a free, fair, and transparent trial. Serve the other side, make them argue in an open court, and make the judge rule. I think, say, for the first time this time, we want to make the one the way they don't give the responsibility for dispense justice, make them stand for the counted. That is why we in the APC, they say, make them listen to we appeals. We believe, say, in the Court of Appeals, they get the rules of evidence. way they're supposed to follow. Quite distinct from the waiting they be failed for doing at the COI. And we do believe and hope, say, at the level of the appeal, we will be able to get justice. Let me take, for example, my own particular case. They say the money where government, cabinet approve, we get executive approval, then give the money to commercial bank or make commercial bank administer the SM, small and medium enterprises loan scheme on behalf of government, because government not get capacity for one. Government enter into a memorandum of understanding with the bank. The bank take responsibility for administer and recover the loans on behalf of government. And they say they will only give loans to people there with account holders, where they don't vet, where they don't train, etc., etc. After all of those things, they administer these loans, they're not able to recover the money, some of the money from the people there. Guess what they say? Me, Richard Konteh, because me have been Minister of Trade at the time where we initiate the program for help small and medium enterprises in this country, for me they able to do business and make money and able to plow and back into the economy. They say me don't commit crime. Me for refund the money. Money we may not see and not touch, not to me give us in debt, not to me get responsibility for collect debt. All we do is that as a ministry, we come up with a proposal to government, government approve, then give the money to commercial bank administer. Who said the thing concern me? For say me, Richard Konteh, for go refund money. So those types of issues, clearly, if we dare in an open court, we say then they look at the real issues, we for be clear about which for be the outcome. So, and we get a number of these types of issues in the COI report. So we just say, let us have a fair trial. We hope say the issue will be resolved at the level of the appeals court. If not, we will go higher, because we believe say this country, justice will be seen, will be done. Enough for pay lip service to justice, and everybody in this country entitled to a fair trial.
Thank you very much, Dr. Richard Konteh. And ladies and gentlemen at the chat room, please don't we continue for share. Because within the example where Dr. Konteh don't give in I think one of the best example middle year since when people they talk about this COI, where you don't talk say, I not go be referee, when they go play game, the referee they make rules as the game never go on. No, we all know all they watch football match then. Before the referee go on the pitch, they don't know the rules already. Whether they offside, no that are offside. If you don't do foul, run a penalty, the referee don't know. Because the referee don't go, I mean, it doesn't make sense at all. Thank you once more again, very, very much for that example. I believe say plenty people in that the chat room, the layman, the least person itself, we don't understand court business, we don't understand justice business, go understand this one clearly. And you know, it is very unfortunate for where then thing happen, like when the doctor say no more so, you know, because this thing a fight where on man they support, on man wants let we minimize corruption in our country. All waiting on man wants is that again for be honest, again for be transparent, again for be fair. You know, just they say no more somebody, you will not like me, I will can't say I can't fight corruption against them. Look the example where the minister, Dr. Konteh give, where he say something where handle where he don't pass to the banks them. The commercial bank they do all things. So what now your business now for can ask for they can get accounts where money no can not to get loan, not to collect. It makes no sense. But a good back now make them platform here today. Let people get clear information. So now make the original. Let we continue for share. Now we get plenty Sierra Leoneans here today. We can listen to Dr. Richard Konteh today. We're all fortunate. We're all fortunate for getting Dr. Richard Konteh. Yeah, so incessant they tell we some but now social media they put out, confuse people. Well, now today we get the benefit for get Dr. Richard Konteh when they clarify them here so, and it makes so much sense. So please, ladies and gentlemen, we allow we continue for share. Let plenty salon people go able to witness this particular interview live. May not tell person. May I am directly from Dr. Richard Konteh himself. Dr. Konteh, during the previous administration, where you been a part and parcel of former President Dr. Kroma, then we rate Sierra Leone as one of the most peaceful countries in Africa. But now they get plenty and tension, sonko, all kinds of things. What thing don't go wrong? And what thing are you advise to this current administration for me to maintain that peace and security, because that is paramount for the people of Sierra Leone?
Yeah, Mohamed, thank you very much. This country need peace and security. And not to, because you put Sojamande out in the streets, then they carry guns all over the place, they guarantee security. No. You get for ensure, say, as a government, you respond to the needs of the people. You address the concerns of the people. You make everybody in the country feel himself a part of the governance architecture where they inside the country. You make sure, say, people know they go to bed hungry. You make sure, say, the businessman able do in business. You make sure, say, the trader able pack in the morning and go in the market and sell, even try pack and come back to the house. The school pikin able go and come back. The workman able go to the office and come back. That day, the government supposed to do. But waiting don't happen for no justifiable reason. We see heightened tension. I mean, it's like we are in a police state or in whatever military regime. And as far as me, the last time I checked, a civilian regime. Now we still get, when Mark P, when a military assistant to civilian police, when they invoke Mark P, enough to be a permanent structure. When you invoke Mark P and make a permanent system, it is sure say there is tension, unnecessary tension. When you declare a state of emergency as distinct from a state of public health emergency, then it creates unnecessary tension at the country. It puts people there under unnecessary pressure and unnecessary. Sierra Leone is a peaceful country. The people of this country, they're very peaceful. And I think, say, things the way done, they happen. If now other country, they will not peaceful. Sometimes, now left and run before they left this country. But we're very peaceful people. And we believe, say, it's not necessary. Waiting be happen in the past government, that they allow a level playing field. They allow access to everybody for him to come and take advantage of the potentials, the opportunities we are available in government, regardless of your tribe, regardless of your religion, regardless of your region where you come out, and regardless of your political party affiliation. We will get people there in very high places, well, not to be APC, but they were Sierra Leoneans, and so they kept their jobs. So you cannot come into government and then you go into one office. In one day, you sack 250-something people and begin issue sack letter, like say, headmaster, they give report card in school. It's not done. You go inside State House, in one day, you sack 126 people there. As if they're not Sierra Leoneans. You go now, maritime administration, you just the sack. You go now, NATCOM, you just the sack. It is not done. These people are Sierra Leonean for crying out loud. These are young boys, young girls, professionals. They apply for their job. They interview them for their job. Then get their jobs. Some of them, because they don't get their jobs, then go ahead now and begin try for settle. Some go, those people picking their married up. Just where you don't marry them, go, you can't house, you go now, you place their money, you meet other persons you don't know in desk. Say, buddy, you don't get a job, you go no. But this is not done, bro. We are all Sierra Leoneans. All of these things, they create unnecessary tension, unnecessary sense of insecurity. We believe, say, as a government, then get a responsibility for ensure, say, the country peaceful. For ensure, say, every Sierra Leonean believe, say, the government, they for seeking interest. But if the government only they for cater for 1/2 of the population as against the rest, then it creates a divide in the country way very unhealthy. And I think saying that this make we don't get this kind of situation. It not ever happened in the history of Sierra Leone. And it certainly not happened to this extent in the past governments would not get at this country.
Wow.
As far back as you.
Okay, Dr. Konteh. I mean, I hope say people in authority, they go for subsequently listen to this interview and to this advice we don't give. So I mean, it couldn't be much more clear. Dr. Konteh, going forward, you know, Somolobi don't work at the Ministry of Finance. During December, we see we bank governor of Sierra Leone say the country don't run out of leones. What if he say go wrong? I mean, what's your inkling? Say what's go wrong? Why that for happen? Or have you ever came across any of that situation that ever happened at Salone before? Why it for happen?
I'm not aware, say it don't ever get this bad before. I know say we can get temporary shortages in the system, but it not ever happen this bad. But what will make this particular case even more serious now, because as recent as May last year, they print money. Okuboku money. Who said the money don't go? Said the money don't go. We hear somebody go on social media or television, they talk say they be use the money for pay benefits to former employees who made them left now. As if now people that go to line in a bank, all man begin collecting money they care and go. I mean, and besides the total amount of money we they pay to people as benefits in tranches, now pittance. That's not the reason. But you know, as I be answer the earlier question on the economy, I tell you, say, you not able sustain an economy on just pay as you earn. Because now inbreeding, if the government then are the majority employer, now you pay deposit, then you got happy, say that it's not your income. Now your money, nothing not change. You know, the private sector, now there we get for support. You know, waiting done bad and waiting really unfortunate that we don't get to the stage where the people don't lose confidence in the banks. And because people don't lose confidence in the banks as a result of the failures where they happen. Now, all man done by safe. I understand, say, the safe there, where they been get for sale, all done. All man done by safe, all man they keep money now, they're on the way get up. You know, and if that happen, then government need for take steps. The Ministry of Finance, working with the Bank of Sierra Leone, need for take steps. And of course, with the commercial banks, for restore confidence in the banking system. If we not restore confidence in the banking system, the shortage will continue. You know, and if we not also get to the stage where we be able to export and bring in foreign exchange, then the pressure on the loan will just continue. I think, say, if any negotiations that they go on between the mining companies and the government, the need for accelerator. If any negotiations they go on between private sector investors and government, the need for accelerator. But the problem is that, you know, where will be they doing business reforms? We get one key area we know about enforcing contracts. But make people then get confidence or put their money inside a system. Then get for belief, say, if I can at this country, I can invest, I can sign contract, I invest the money, that contract will be protected, will be respected. And we've been take steps during the time for ensure, say, we give the investors their confidence for, say, the contracts that they enter to, once ratified by Parliament, will be respected. But what don't happen? We get cases where people then get valid contracts signed by the appropriate MDAs, ratified by Parliament, and then they terminate them midstream. This is not correct for make them do. You cannot do that. Then they lost confidence. So, and the best person for advertise the country and attract investors, now the people that we already get inside the country. I mean, when we be go on the sensitization, on the attempt for attract investors on the investment fora there in different places, we go with some of the investors we already inside the country, and we allow them to make them talk and share the experiences, so that the one the way they come, they will get confidence. Another thing we don't happen inside this country is that the cost of doing business is too high. The roads, we saw APC left on one day. The roads, they're still largely bad. Electricity, bad. Water supply, terrible. And so the fees and even the capacity of the banks for able manage these businesses and for able provide the support where the businesses that they need for their operations. You know, everybody get for rely on international banks for these operations in Sierra Leone, and that it gets a negative effect even on the local banks. If we know they get a situation wherein procurement, big procurements, that they originate there locally in the local banks, so that their big investor here, they bring the money inside the banks here, then they originate the procurement from here, where the banks themselves make money, no problem. So we get a number of things where we need for do here and there, but the key issue where I think say don't happen now is that people have lost confidence in the banking sector. People have lost confidence in the ability of the way they put in charge for managing this economy for manager. Recently, we see them publish the report where they assess ministries and they begin rank certain ministries as the best. Even the layman, they say, that's why I will not able to get money in a bank. Now they say they come first. How they will come first? Even the illiterate man cannot understand how a ministry will not even able to get liquidity in a bank. They go come first. When they assess performance of ministries. So we therefore really try for a short say when we are dealing with these issues, we deal with them comprehensively. And so I would say, if they get for address issues about the economy, it also tied to the issue of the private sector and how they encourage the private sector. We not they say, "Una make this country free for all, anybody can come and do it." But no. We get forget fiscal regime, we get forget an incentive. We get for acknowledge we inadequacies, and we get for make the country competitive. Let we realize, say, the minerals, the way we get at this country, not one getter. Other countries then get her. The land for agriculture, we get this country, not one getter. Other countries then get her. So waiting will make somebody decide for come Sierra Leone and not go to Ghana. Now, a range of factors. You see now inside West Africa, most big businesses, now Ghana they go. Because Ghana then gets the appropriate investment climate, then get the appropriate social, financial infrastructure for support them, and they also get the required energy, they get required social services, etc., where all of them cumulatively, they help for make the whole business environment attractive to the investor. So there's a lot where we need to do. We don't start in that area during the past regime. Regrettably, we don't seem for loss all of those opportunities. The goodwill is lost, but we believe say more can be done for ensuring say we give confidence again in the private sector. That is precisely what we will do when we come back to power in 2023. We say we will tell investors they give them confidence for when they come back, and we will support them for when they're able to do business, they make money, create more jobs, then they pay more taxes, and government will get money for finance and other development programs.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Richard Konteh, once more again for those holistic response to that particular question, because now something as well we bother most Sierra Leoneans, because these Leos can short during festive period at December, and that is get an impact on the economy. But the way you put them, so it couldn't have been much better. Once again, most people they talk about the social media, it's now a revelation from the Africanist press where the chief editor, Cheng Bar, highlights what he say them they pay some money directly to the first lady. And they don't say this money not go through parliament. And first lady in office, not to an official government department, now a private office. So what give you clarification? What's now you as somebody who be done in governance, waiting how first lady the operations that they take place, how do they get them finances, how that finances they intertwine with government business?
The office of the First Lady, not to an established office inside the government of Sierra Leone, where they inside budget and they receive, not a subvented entity. And since not a subvented entity and parliament not allocate, not appropriate resources for that office, then they out of order for make them the finance and directly from the consolidated revenue fund in the way in which they do. So there are two issues here. One, now whether or not the office should be funded at all. And two, now the magnitude of the funding. Waiting we read is that the funding sometimes it even exceed within big ministries or even the vice president's office. We get several departments under them they get. That is not right. We are not saying that the project, Hands of Our Girls, Nabad project. No. That project could have been championed by the Ministry of Social Welfare. And then the First Lady could have served as a goodwill ambassador or the face of the project. And when the Social Welfare Ministry, before incorporate that project in their budget, in their program, when they do the budget called circular, they put her inside it, and then they take them to the budget preparation process and get them approved in Parliament, and Parliament allocates resources to that project. It can be financed. And then the First Lady can be the face of the project. Nothing wrong with that. You know, we sometimes now the way we go about these things, then it causes the problem. And maybe again, sometimes the way we react when these things happen. Some of the pronouncements them where they come out in reaction to these revelations, not help the situation. So we hope some people then go acknowledge, say wrongdoings don't take place, and we hope say the appropriate government institutions them will address these issues will also do the right thing they're supposed to do.
Okay, thank you very much again, Dr. Richard Konteh. And going forward, hopefully people will listen to this advice and learn from them. Again, ladies and gentlemen, I want to all taking at the chat room for now comments. All welcome. Mr. Hassan Mansour and Ibrahim Sisse, Miss Madam Fatima, and so many others. I mean, on comments, all welcome. Return and thank you for our constant support to this particular platform here. So, and today we get an aspiring flag bearer for the mighty APC party come 2023, Dr. Richard Konteh. Dr. Richard Konteh, as an aspirant flag bearer for the mighty APC party for the 2023 presidential election, why do you think the party, the APC party, for choose you as the presidential candidate come 2023?
Thank you very much. I believe, say, the APC party for choose me as the flag bearer for 2023 because I get everything where it take for him to lead this party and ensure victory. When I look at the professional background over the years, from the educational experience, the civil society experience, the international civil service experience with ECOWAS, and my service inside government, it don't expose me sufficiently for able to understand the workings of government. So I will hit the ground running and not go can learn how for run government. Because as chief of staff, I've been doing the close enough to the center of government business to make I understand how government they run. But as a party, APC, we also want somebody who will be sure say will be able to safeguard and protect the interests of the APC. And you demonstrate that, one, when we be there inside governance, waiting you been do for ensure say you respond to the needs of the party. Waiting you been do when the party they in need. And then since 2018, when we get out of power, who say you been there? Where the party, they go through all of these trials. What do you do? And I think say this is now one area which I don't stand out for. I take risks for my party. All the by-elections all over this country, I did it. I take risks. After the 110 elections, because of the position where I be take on that elections day, I come out and talk against the injustices and unfair play will take place in that election. We all know how they arrest me, they lock me up for 4 days, for nothing, on trumped up charges. For nothing, they lock me up for 4 days. After 4 days, they say they grant me bail with no charges. Until today, I know you're hearing nothing from them. These things should not be allowed to happen. Enough fear. And nobody will even get back to me for telling me what are the outcome of their investigations. They just keep quiet. They just say, no man, I already with the whole of Gallop, the whole left there. That is not how you run a government. So as a political party, I don't demonstrate or say I am APC enough. Or say I love my party. Or say I can be there for my party. I can suffer pain for my party, and I will stand for the family party. And 2023, not a joke. And we not get for take any chances with 2023. That day you go feel like say we go for Champions League final. They take your second team, go play Champions League final. Liverpool been doing last year because where they try for go win the Champions League. The one time they get one game, we then go take the second team. They send it a field. They flag the 5-0. So we cannot afford to send with second best or go lead we 2023 against a sitting government. If them people here, they don't beat we when we been there in power, the type of leadership we will be get, then beat we. We for no say the task for remove them when they're in power is even stronger. So we therefore need for put forward the best candidates. And I think say I don't demonstrate to me people then inside the APC for say I can go there and get results for them. When after the elections in 2018, they vandalized people all over this country, they brutalized them, they raped them, they burned their houses, they tortured them, they killed some. Me that the only flag bearer aspirant will go all over this country for identify with the people, or sympathize with the people. And we all see how on the way to Konteh, for go sympathize with the people there. Then put a roadblock. They put armed policemen there. They say they get instructions, or say they not for allow me for enter Konteh. I say, okay, I go let me much I go work, I go. They say, even on foot, I not for go, that's when I don't lie now. Or yeah, I go kill me. I ignore all the chakabula there, all the RPG there, all the AA there with their mount for me. At snap, I say, when I shoot. I say, but if you not kill me no more, me, Richard Konteh, I Konteh at the go so. And I go. I go Konteh, I meet people there, I come out there, I pass that there. I meet people, I come out there, I come back, I go Pujan, I don't go Bond, I don't go Moyamba, I don't go all over the place. And you go see how we people then be need for be re-energized. They need for be strengthened. They be feel dejected, abandoned. Only Richard Konteh now reach out to them. So I believe say the people they need somebody with compassionate, somebody who will be there for them when they need succor. Somebody who will be there for them when they need comfort. somebody who would listen to their needs. For the past several days, apart from the sensitization where they do on the coronavirus and the sharing of masks and those type of things, but also they go on a listening tour around the entire basis. People there, whether they feel say they are dejected, they're not important. They are not that's so. People they get false impressions about those people in the entire basis. Which I discover we have enlightened people in the entire basis. They understand the issues and you can learn a lot from them. So I'm going around listening to my people for me can understand a lot more about the people there so that when I become your president, I'll be able to respond to those needs. We're not ready again this time for elect a leader where not they connect with the people. No. We're not ready for get a leader where they get a barrier between him and the people. If you're not able to reach out to the people now where you want them to support you, not to when they will make you president, and where all the trappings of power and all the bureaucracies about it will come into play. No. You know, that is why we believe, say, we need a leader where they connect. We need a leader where gets the requisite experience. We need a leader where get the competence for provide the leadership. And we need the leader where get that human touch. And I believe, say, those qualities are embedded in me, Dr. Richard Konteh. And that is why I believe, say, that me will be the best person where the APC party will put forward for lead we in 2023 and give victory. Lastly, I understand the workings of elections. For 4 years, we are the work na ECOWAS. A major thrust of the work that the elections. And I monitor elections now every single country in West Africa. Now we work on the ECOWAS elections management mechanism. So I understand about elections because I don't see elections at play in different contexts. So when I come into Sierra Leone, if you try me for rigged elections, which I they expose them. I do an Atonkolimba. We work at Atonkolimba, we expose neck in incompetence, in inadequacies, and in corruptness. We expose them. And the whole world, they see them clearly. We can 110. We stop them from taking over an election where they believe say they will win. We put in place an appropriate strategy for ensure say we counter them and we beat them to their own game and we win the elections. We go 3 times, we beat them 3 times. And I believe say when we did think about 2023, we no one repeats the mistakes of 2018. We want to make sure say in 2023, one blow, we go, we hit them, we beat them, and we need somebody. I mean, in 2007, for example, when we do the runoff on Saturday, by Monday morning, we'll be able to present and it's by Koroma with the results of the elections. Not that we just wait for make the announcement after 2 weeks. We don't get the result already within 48 hours. Or we didn't have any results, any resources. But now in 2023, media assure the people of Sierra Leone that within 24 hours of the close of polls, APC, we will produce real results. And this time, we are going to defend our votes. We are going to defend our mandate. And we have to assure people and say, all they need to do is to vote. And when they vote, their votes will be counted. So Dr. Richard Konteh will provide the leadership where we will need to put together the team for ensure victory for APC in 2023. So when I make me on a flag bearer, I will be able to restore confidence in this country. We will move this country before, and everybody will live at peace. We will unify this country, me and the unifier.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Richard Konteh, the unifier. Again, this is not a question for the Salon people. The Salon people, they look up to the main opposition APC party as an alternative government in waiting for 2023. So what's not the confidence you as a key stakeholder at the APC party will not go give to the people Say then give una the opportunity, then choose APC party for govern the country 2023, una go able to deliver for the country.
With track record, they say it all. When APC came into power, Freetown was dark. Within 100 days, we light Freetown. And over the 10 years period, we don't do road constructions like never before in the east of Sierra Leone. We don't provide water supply like never before in the east of Sierra Leone. We don't provide electricity like never before. We don't provide healthcare like never before. We don't build educational institutions like never before. We don't support the military like never before. We don't support the police like never before. We have strengthened institutions, including the Anti-Corruption Commission. So that legacy, where we don't left in 2018, now we can build on from 2023. The good thing we don't happen, you know, behind every problem is a potential. What thing don't happen is that God be want make the people of Sierra Leone see the difference between APC and SLPP. You know, it don't take small where SLPP govern. So plenty of people not even know what bad governance is. And so when I can come and life and they produce the anything. So God said, okay, APC would must not break small. Make the wire come and they can't show themselves. So they come, they don't show themselves. In just 3 years, people of Sierra Leone don't see, say, then wire, not to the right people for we. I believe, say, they want we for come back. So we as a party, now we responsibility now for unite, and for galvanize efforts, and for begin reposition we self for come and take over the government of this country. So at the appeal to all APCians, we let we not repeat the failed experiment of 2018. Allow give an opportunity to a progressive and dynamic leader to take we across the line and bring back respite to this country. The country leader.
Okay, thank you very much again for that response. I believe say the Salon population at large will read the message and then will make the decision. Like waiting Dr. Richard Konteh try for say as well. A very important now remind you now, waiting President, former President Obama be say, he said election get consequences. He said election get consequences. So for say me no mix by politics, I not mix by I don't want politics, I know this. No, politics it encompass you one no life. Where you gonna mark it? You go say, hey, this fish you don't do then a politics. When you send the picking go school, then send the picking say book not this not na politics. You go to hospital medicine not in a politics. So politics encompasses you all life. You want mix for more, you know want mix for more, you get ramification where they cover with all. So I don't make sure say when election come, we get we self-involved, we get the accurate message and make sure say we vote because election get consequences. If you vote in the wrong person, will they see what they happen? If you vote in the right person, you will see what they happen. So what Dr. Richard Konteh they talk so the unified, very, very relevant. And again, Dr. Richard Konteh, one of the questions where plenty of people they ask before this interview and the chat room as well is that the APC party now get plenty good people like you kind so plenty people in the APC party we want to go for this flag bearership. So if you as a flag bearer potential candidate, if you're not successful by the election, when they get for all, forget the person who go be the flag bearer for the party, you're not successful. Will you support anybody where emerge 100% for facing the election come 2023?
Me are the only flag bearer aspirant where they on record are saying that if at the end of a free, fair, transparent, and credible electoral process in we party, the members of we party choose somebody else, elect somebody else for be the flag bearer of we party, where they believe say na a better candidate than me. I say, me, Richard Konteh, will be the first person we go grab, snap, and congratulate her and give me support. I respect the wish of the members of the APC. I respect the wish of the people. I believe, say, with people there, they don't come of age. They understand that then they wear their suits, they know which side it bets them. And they know waiting the mistakes of the past don't cost we individually and collectively as a party. I always the people they want for now an opportunity where they give them for make them choose. And I believe that the leadership of the party magnanimous enough for don't accept, say, this time, now vote, they vote. We know they select again. And when we vote, when the person emerge victorious, and I believe say it will be Richard Konteh, we all will support Dr. Richard Konteh for making lead we. And that is why we don't already start the process for begin come together. 6 of we don't already begin come together. We all the contest, we all get the agendas, nobody left for a company, but we don't begin reach and understand among ourselves for say, anyone per we get, we support them. And even the one that will not join with, we hope say they will can't join with. Let we go they meet, interact, play and laugh like comrades. Because at the end of the day, now one of we get for be flag bearer. Stranger not get for come out other side and come. Now one of we. And we are not enemies. Just because one other person decide for fight for the same position with you, not make una enemies. You are still friends. You are still colleagues. You are still comrades. So we encourage people to say, let's come together. Let's be meeting. Let's be sharing ideas. Let's see each other as brothers and sisters. Let's work together because at the end of the day, the party big pass we all. At the end of the day, the country big pass we all. And this country need me now more than ever before. When you listen to the rank and file of the party, and even some educated one of the party, they say, "Una do you wanna come together? Una do you wanna come together? Who no wait for?" So we have started the process of coming together. And I want for sure, this country say, we will come together. These issues where they happen in normal, the democratic process. In America, the Democrats they get 20 contending aspirants. It was heated amongst them. I mean, Kamala Harris, when a vice president now, he hit Joe Biden under the belt. Joe Biden almost won't cry. But today, then the vice president, so Joe Biden, that is the spirit. Joe Biden, that year Obama been contest. They had exchanges, but they served together for 8 years. So nothing, no day we could stop 2 former flag bearer aspirants from becoming president and vice president. What if I stop that? What's important now for make we able to acknowledge with strengths and with weaknesses and see how we can complement each other for the good of the party and for the good of the country. And at that we will work on now. And I believe say at the end of the day, we will provide the party and this country the leadership we so need for moving forward.
Thank you once more again, Dr. Richard Konteh. And ladies and gentlemen, I still continue for sure, although the approach always towards the ending segment of this particular interview, what do I give from Richard Konteh today, Dr. Richard Konteh? Now, big guy opener, it don't enlighten people so many things then. And we tell them thank you plenty for that as well going forward, because I believe say most of we don't learn new things today, what will be confused about, what will not be know about. It don't come to it don't enlighten we and it go benefit we. Because I believe say thousands of people and subsequently get for watch this interview going forward. And I believe say all them people they go benefit as Sierra Leoneans. Dr. Richard Konteh, one thing again, if you become fortunate, become the flag bearer of the party and subsequently the president of the Republic of Sierra Leone come 2023, I want to ask you, people and they, when a majority of the people in our country, the grassroots people, and what we call the grassroots, the women then, but they don't seem to be empowered. What will you do to empower them groups of people in there? Because those people are the future of the country.
The women of this country the Lord don't give them the opportunity over the years for make they actualize their fullest potentials. Even though they don't demonstrate over the years that they get the capacity and get the wherewithal or excel at the highest levels. So one thing we me would do as president of this country that for give more and more opportunities to women for make them excel in society. We will give key positions both in and out of government to women there for make them excel themselves. We will create career opportunities for women there for make them get the requisite skills, the requisite education, the requisite capacities where they need for perform in key positions in government. And we believe, say, they will deliver like how others did deliver, we have been given the opportunity in the past. And we believe, say, when you put women there before in the governance of your country and make them a part of your governance structure, they will deliver, they will perform, and this country will go well. Because then then they feel for them picking them, and they will get more compassion for the people, and they don't want to do anything we will help for undermine that. So we believe, say, we for create jobs, we for create opportunities, for create training opportunities for women, but more importantly also, we for strengthen the existing laws where they against gender-based violence, gender-based abuse, and all of those types of things. We get for protect the girl child. We get for create opportunities for the girl child. We get for ensure, say, we will not allow predatory men to take undue advantage over there with girl beginner. Because the girl beginner now we future, now we gems, now we champions. And we believe that if we give them the opportunities that where they so deserve, they will excel and this country will benefit. So yes, women will have quite a place in the Richard Konteh government and will ensure that nobody tramples upon the basic and fundamental rights of our women and girls in this country.
Okay, thank you very much again, Dr. Richard Konteh. And just for further buttress for that particular question there, I think there was a focus group where the question about the woman and get all what it takes for go up there. There was a focus group recently about why make women able to participate per politics. There is this opinion or wherever where people then get say politics now we can't see them. You need to be tough. You need to be some sort of that bonically type of politics. That they discourage plenty women then make them not participate per politics. How we go pull that kind of attitude there? That stereotype there for say yes, you get for be tough because politics that we can't see in a rough and tumble. You get for the time fet can day, all those sorts of things when they discourage women them. How go pull that one day that image here from politics so that women then go feel confidence enough, go feel comfortable for take part of politics.
One, we get for ensure say we take violence out of politics. But me not share the view for say women that we have very strong women in this country. We don't demonstrate over the years that they can stand their ground against men. I don't want to name specific individuals for obvious reasons, but I tell you, we have dozens of women in this country. If you check the political history of this country, we get a number of women we don't demonstrate over the years that they can stand their ground against men and so on. We therefore give such women and others the opportunity. And I believe so when others they also see say the opportunities that they out there for them for grab, we'll see how they will come forward. Some people like you want to push for affirmative action, but we also get women there where they against affirmative action. So I will not say I will go for affirmative action. Rather, I would use a different word, a different phraseology where we go really portray the same thing. We go make sure say we create opportunities for women for excel themselves. And me will even talk say in me own government, in me own politically appointed persons. Women, they ask for 30% quota. Me, they guarantee women, they say they will have nothing less than 30% quota when I become president. In fact, they might have far above 30% quota in all political appointments when I become president of this country.
That is good, definitely. And thank you once more, Dr. Richard Konteh. And I just want to clarify, I'm not implying that women are weak, but it's just this perception out there that man like say or the say politics na salon, a rough and tumble, so on and so forth. And thank you again for that.
No, it's not true. Me not share that view. Me not share that view. I believe say woman and they make a match up. And you know, and the law for protect the woman there. This is why we have law enforcement for allow a level playing field. You know, so that women are, we get for go the extra mile for protect these women. When, for example, we know say a woman they run for political office, now we get extra security, and because I mean, my government pay for that. My government give them extra security for protect them, so they will feel comfortable. You know, whatever we need for do for make the woman then go out there and grab waiting they're entitled to. We for one, and me. Will support that.
Okay, that's great. Thank you very much. And again, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you on our patience with you. We'll get plenty technical difficulties, but the show must go on. And we'll get Dr. Richard Konteh today. We don't come. It really, let's say, well, me and I say school me, but plenty things with simple example where it clarify some certain things then where it go left and where I don't learn, I don't sabi now from this interview today. Because the example they were giving a simple example where that mommy said my kids are power and farm go understand. So return and thank you plenty for that. And this platform is one of the most popular platforms in the diaspora. Dr. Richard Konteh no go kaya will not ask him in relation to the diaspora issues then. One of the burning issue, and we ask you this question in case maybe Sotena will be the president come 2023. One of the burning issue that the diaspora is the diaspora people were very disappointed with the section 71A of 1991 Constitution, where we come up with that to same issue in 2018. How you see that issue there, and if you get for resolve them, how you go resolve them going forward?
We go repeal them within the first 6 months where I come into office as president of this country. We go give all Sierra Leoneans equal opportunity for make the exercise themselves. However, we get for also understand the challenges we involved in people who they carry dual citizenship. You get for no usa your loyalty lie, and we go encourage people them for make them continue for believe in Sierra Leone and to make their loyalty to be to Sierra Leone. So you get for swear an oath of allegiance to Sierra Leone and sure say if you caught up in the situation where you have to decide or choose between one or the other, then you get to choose Sierra Leone.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Richard Konteh. Again, this wonderful interview don't come to an end, but like we don't learn plenty things from Dr. Richard Konteh. But finally, Dr. Richard Konteh, as we don't come to an end, this is the last and final question. We get these disputes, this younger disputes with neighboring country, with brotherly neighboring country when a Guinea Conakry. This younger issue, and now we see say the border closed between Salone and Guinea, and that border they now they plenty business they come out. So plenty people them right now they suffer in the country. The economic situation even gets worse due to this particular border closure. What do you feel say will be the resolution? What's now your advice to people in authority, government, how for resolve this particular situation here? So,
you know, waiting with the experience now, that is symptom of an underlying problem we go unaddressed. We all will remember, say, this issue about Yenga, it not new. It don't day from previous governments, but we all know how past governments they be addressed the issue. It will require engagement at the highest levels. And we see how it was resolved amicably. When Guinea be accused Sierra Leone of interfering in the elections. I don't think say this government will take that seriously and do not take the appropriate steps for reassure the Guineans for say that not happen. Then just ignore them. And I think say Guinea self they try for make them show say we cannot be ignored. And where Alpha Conde come into power, of course, if self flex in most small, and now the country they suffer. And we always see how everything done they in short supply, and we always see how price just they escalate by the day, and we always see how they continue for suffer. Waiting me think say what happen. You know, it's unfortunate for say happenings over the last 12 months plus, over the last 3 years, don't make us such that the relationship between former President Kroma and President Bio is no longer very cozy, no longer very amicable. We all know say President Kroma gets a very good relationship with President Konteh. Under normal circumstances, this before don't be the time where President Bio before don't enlist the services of President Kroma. This not be a sure instance because now President Kroma be solved this same problem not too long ago. So whatever way it will go about for solver, this at the time when President Bio before don't enlist in services for make one, they engage on which strategy they be used so that this government use the same strategy. But more importantly, for see how President Kroma himself before also get directly involved. I think say nothing not before stop President Bio for pick the phone and call President Kroma. Either you go pay a visit Namakeni or invite her for kind of talk for medical sit and talk. This is a national issue, a national concern. You know, but when we don't allow the relationship or degenerate to such a level that communication not they happen again, then we have a challenge. I believe that this before certainly be one area where President Kroma before come in handy for help for address this problem because he gets a very good relationship with President Konteh. Himself, we get this same problem of Yenga, the same problem of border closure. They know how they resolve that. And I think say that they before don't take advantage of that. But you know, I also want for make this government they note say, Rio man say good neighbor. It might pass far away family. Because when you get problem, the first person when they come to your rescue are your neighbor. And so within the framework of the MRU, I believe say therefore don't allow MRU play a more strategic role in trying for overcome this issue. If all of that don't fail, I know say the speaker Bidali, the delegation last week to Guinea, I don't think say they achieved much. President Bio get other presidents at the sub-region with under normal circumstances here and they're supposed to get good rapport. And possibly those people get a good relationship with President Konteh. I think say the first thing we need for happen now the personal relationship. It's a personal relationship between President Bio and President Konteh. Now need for be cordial. They are all presidents within the MRU. Therefore, able for big phone and talk to each other. I know say maybe, I don't know if President Bio talk French. I know say maybe language could be a barrier, but I think say as enlightened as President Konteh be, I believe say they talk in good enough English, we go allow for me to communicate. Or they get good enough interpreters that we go help facilitate that dialogue. I believe say if they are all part of the MRU, they are all part of ECOWAS, they all they meet the MRU summit, they all they meet the ECOWAS summit, they all they meet the AU summit. I believe say if there is a cordial relationship between them, I think say by now, President Bio for don't pick the phone and make a direct call to his brother and call for an appointment take a helicopter, fly across on a walking visit. I believe the President Koroma will do that. Go on a walking visit, sit down with your colleague on the other side, whatever are the concerns, una put it at the table and una agree on how now we address them going forward. I believe, say, Bagbati not to solve this problem. Therefore, calm down and engage and try for resolve, because the longer we drag the problem, now so more and more suffering. You know, even the traders are suffering because we bought so expensive. People and they import through Guinea, and we get hundreds of containers. Now Guinea, we're supposed to bring commodities into Sierra Leone. They're all stranded there. Huge costs to those businesses. Of course, if they get for payback for bringing the thing back through Freetown and camp, all of those costs will be transferred again to the consumer. And we have to be the loser at the poor Sierra Leone. So the earlier this government take the appropriate steps or engage directly at the highest level and try for resolve them, the better for we all.
Okay, thank you very much for that excellent advice. They will conclude the program today. And I believe that subsequently people in authority will hear this message. It couldn't be more clear, it couldn't be more simpler and more accurate. And it makes lots of sense, Dr. Richard Konteh, with this advisory don't give so. I hope say the people in way they govern the country now, President Bio and the administration will listen and take a cue from what you advise to, because it's a wonderful advice. I mean, it couldn't be more salient. Ladies and gentlemen at the chat room, I want to all thank you. See, you get plenty technical difficulty, but we're patient with. We're make sure we share, we're watching and goes, and we're continue for share. I believe say subsequently, plenty people will not be able to today go watch this particular program and then go learn a lot from waiting. The learning doctor don't come and help for explain to it today and analyze. Well, I believe say Mr. Say they talk so I don't benefit a lot from them. So again, on behalf of this platform, the Then and Now Media Empire, and this program inside Salon today, me now na host and presenter Mohamed Kamara, come on in on a Supermed. I want to say next Saturday, 8 p.m., not to Sunday, go for 8 p.m. next Saturday, inside Salon, go bring come again. Another flag bearer aspirant, this time, not just the newly doctor, Almami Petito Koroma, go join we na this particular hot seat. We go come and bring come your own expertise as well for explain to we. Let we say the land. We use this platform, the social media platform, for land plenty team. But come on, Kuti not be sabi, but government, I don't be talk to people there in government, I don't be wondering where our government is going. I don't land on a social media. So now we'll continue for land. So now agree for disagree peacefully. Because we all know agree one side. You know, all man go get your own comments, all man go get your own views, but so do them peacefully. Because we all know Sierra Leone, we country is small, we not plenty, we just over 7 million people. We all know brothers and sisters and they. It's about ideas, it's about strategies then. So possible come the way the doctor, the learned doctor do today, it don't tell we eloquently in ideas them for that country day. And some of them really remarkable. For they tell them thank you plenty for that. So ladies and gentlemen, fellow Sierra Leoneans, they say all good things must come to an end. The call people like say when they say net long tete, double most clean. We don't come to an end and we stay tuned. Now this particular platform, so subsequent program, the quarter and no more. Next Saturday, we get Dr. Almami Petito Koroma now this particular hot seat as well. So ladies and gentlemen, once more I tell all thank you. I tell we special guests we get with Dr. Richard Konteh. Thank you plenty. And also I wish him the best of luck in the aspiring position for become a flag bearer and subsequently the president of the Republic of Sierra Leone. God bless you, God guide you, God bless and guide the people in the salon, and God bless and guide with all countries Sierra Leone. Thank you, sir. Your last word, sir.
Thank you very much, Med, for this opportunity where you give me for share my thoughts now this forum. I want to thank the listeners who don't patiently listen to we as we go through all of these exchanges. I want to say Sierra Leone, now we all young. And it takes all of us working together for make Sierra Leone the country where we all want to make it. So let we put aside whatever regional, tribal, party differences and look for the green flag. This flag here, this flag. Let we put this flag first. And because of this flag, let we work together and ensure, say, we put Sierra Leone back beside it's supposed to be and set them up on the right trajectory to sustainable economic growth and development, where it could be the basis for make we all and we begin to live at peace and in harmony with each other. All in all, plenty thank you. May God bless you all.